My name's Silas Lowe. I'm 31 now, but this all went down about 2 years back when I was still deep in the grind. I grew up in a small town out west, nothing fancy, just a kid who made some dumb choices, got caught up in a check fraud scheme that landed me in this maximum security hellhole for a 5-year stretch. Non-violent stuff, but they don't care about that here. They just see the number on your jumpsuit. Anyway, I've always been the quiet type. Kinda shy around crowds, prefer keeping to myself, but I try to look out for folks when I can, lend a hand in the yard or share a smoke if someone's down. In this place, they got this underground coal mining program for inmates like me, supposed to build character or whatever, but it's really just free labor for the state. I'd been at it for a couple years already, swinging a pickaxe in those dim tunnels, the air thick with dust that sticks to your lungs like glue. It's not glamorous, man. You're down there with a crew of other guys, headlamps flickering like they're about to die any second, the constant hum of old machinery echoing off the walls, and that earthy smell mixed with sweat and something metallic. We dig for hours, breaking rock, loading carts, all under the watch of guards who act like they're kings of the underworld. I remember thinking it was better than solitary at least, gave me something to focus on, kept my mind off the outside world. But yeah, that's where it started, in those tunnels. It was during one of those routine shifts, you see, nothing out of the ordinary at first. We'd be down there from dawn till dusk, or what passes for it underground. No real light, just the beams from our helmets cutting through the black. I was chipping away at a seam, sweat dripping down my face, streaking the dirt on my cheeks when I first heard it. This faint whisper, like someone calling my name from way off in the distance. Silas Lowe. Full name too, which was weird, 'cause most guys just call me Cy or nothing at all. I stopped mid-swing, pickaxe hovering, and looked around, figuring it was one of the other inmates messing with me, or maybe an echo from up the line. These tunnels play tricks, right? Sound bounces funny off the rock, especially near that old abandoned shaft they sealed off decades ago after some collapse. Killed a bunch of miners back in the day, or so the stories go, caved in like a house of cards, buried 'em alive. It's all ruins now, just a boarded up mess with warning signs, but wind can whistle through cracks, make it sound like voices. I shook it off, told myself it was nothing, probably just the air moving or my ears playing games after too many hours down here. Kept working, but then, end of the shift, I go to grab my pickaxe from where I left it leaning against the wall, and it's not there. I swear I set it down right by my feet, but I find it a few feet away, propped up neat like someone placed it. I thought, must have kicked it without noticing, or maybe one of the guys moved it as a joke. No big deal, right? But it stuck with me a bit, that little relocation, like the tunnel was shifting things around when no one was looking. I didn't tell anyone. I'm not the type to make a fuss, and who'd believe it anyway? Just rationalized it away, like always. Things kept on like that for a while, those whispers popping up now and then during shifts, always faint, always my name. I'd hear 'em mostly when I was alone in a section, picking at the coal face, the other guys further down the line yelling orders or clanging tools. It was like the dark was talking, pulling at me from that sealed shaft area. I remember one time I was thinking about my old life, back when I was free, had this dog as a kid, Rusty, a scrappy mutt who followed me everywhere. But nah, that was just in my head, not connected or anything. Anyway, I tried ignoring the sounds, focusing on the work, the squeak of cartwheels on the tracks, the distant boom of controlled blasts echoing like thunder underground. It's a bog down there sometimes, too. water seeping in from some hidden creek, making the ground muddy and slick, like the earth is trying to swallow your boots. I'd slip a little, catch myself, and there it'd be again. Silas Lowe, faint, insistent. I started doubting myself, wondering if the isolation was getting to me. Prison does that, makes you question what's real. Maybe carbon monoxide or something messing with my brain. But I felt fine otherwise, no headaches, no dizziness. And then there were those tools again. Once, my headlamp, which I always clip to my helmet secure as hell, ends up on a shelf in this little tool shed we got down there, like it had walked itself over. I backtracked, thinking I must have set it down during a break and forgotten, but deep down, it nagged at me. Could be pranks, sure. Some inmates got nothing better to do, but why me? I'm not the confrontational type. I just keep my head down, help out where I can. Like, there was this one guy, new to the crew, looked scared out of his mind his first shift. I showed him how to handle the pickaxe without busting his hands, 'cause I've been there. Compassion goes a long way in a place like this. But yeah, those minor things they built up made the whispers feel less like imagination. It all ramped up on this one late night shift, the kind where the air feels heavier, like the tunnels pressing in. We were working overtime, digging deeper near that abandoned shaft, guards pushing us hard, saying we had quotas to meet. The crew was spread out, voices fading as I got assigned to a side tunnel, closer to the seal than usual. That's when the whispers got clearer, not just my name anymore, but like actual words piecing together. Silas Lowe, come closer. It was coming right from behind that boarded up barrier, the old ruins of the shaft where the collapse happened. I froze, pickaxe in hand, my headlamp flickering a bit, casting this weird radiance on the dusty walls, like a dim glow struggling against the dark. Heart started pounding, but I told myself, come on, it's wind through the cracks, or maybe water dripping in some pattern that sounds like speech. Rational stuff, you know? But I edged closer anyway, curiosity winning out. I'm shy, but not a total coward. Pressed my ear to the seal, the wood rough and splintered under my palm, and that's when it hit me. The voice, clearer now, whispering things no one could know. Rusty, your dog Rusty, buried by the creek. I jerked back like I'd been slapped. Rusty, that was my childhood dog, died when I was 10. We buried him out back near this little boggy creek on our property. Never told a soul in here about that, not even in those group therapy sessions they force on us. And then it kept going. The tattoo, family crest on your arm, hidden under the sleeve. Shit, that's this old ink I got years ago, a shield with our family emblem, but I keep it covered. Guards don't like visible tats, and anyway, it's personal. How the hell? My mind raced, trying to explain it. Maybe I'd muttered in my sleep in the cell block, or someone overheard a letter I sent home. But no, that didn't add up. The details were too spot on, too buried in my past. And right then, my headlamp dimmed for a second, like something sucked the power, and when it flared back, I saw my pickaxe wasn't where I'd left it, moved again, leaning against the seal like it had been placed there on purpose. Not a prank this time, no one was around. I felt this chill, like eyes on me from the dark, an indistinct shadow maybe, lurking just beyond the light. But I shook it off, or tried to, had to be my imagination running wild, right? The isolation, the pressure, making me hear things that weren't there. Still, it unsettled me deep, like whatever was whispering knew me better than I knew myself. I couldn't shake it after that, you know? The whispers didn't stop. They peaked that same night, murmuring more as I backed away. Silas Lowe, your release. It'll come, but watch the shadows. A warning about my future release date, which was still years off, but it felt ominous, like a threat wrapped in knowledge. My stomach twisted, doubt flooding in. Am I losing it? Hallucinating from the dust or the dark? I fled that section, pickaxe in hand, heart hammering like a drum, the squeak of my boots echoing too loud in the quiet. Told the guard I felt sick, which wasn't a lie, and when shift ended, I went straight to admin, requested a change out of the mining program. They looked at me like I was nuts, but they granted it, probably figured I was cracking under the labor, moved me to kitchen duty, topside, away from those tunnels. But sitting there in the admin area, waiting on paperwork, I started piecing things together, or trying to. I asked around quietly. Turns out that sealed shaft had a history. The collapse back in the 50s killed several miners, including this one guy, Elias Crow. Records said he had unfinished business, family stuff, and get this, his name sounds a bit like mine, Silas Lowe, almost an echo. Maybe it was him, whispering from the ruins, reaching out for, what? Help? Connection? I feel kinda bad for whatever it was, if it was a spirit, trapped down there, alone, just like us inmates. Being shy myself, I get that isolation. Maybe that's why it picked me, sensed some compassion or something. But I keep it detached, like it's in the past, but sometimes in dreams, I hear faint echoes again, calling my name. Makes me wonder if it's really over, or if those shadows are still waiting. You ever had something like that happen? Leaves you questioning everything, even now that I'm out. Wait, no, I'm still in, but release is coming soon. Anyway, that's my story, raw as it gets. Don't know what to make of it, but it haunts me in a quiet way.